Scratching his head in disbelief here, he should have been. Look at the miserable Houston tackling that lets Henry Ellard in for the touchdown to seal the upset. Rams 28, Oilers 13.
It's just a combination of everything. I think poor playing, poor coaching, and that was the result.
With the Lions offense struggling, Detroit coach Wayne Fontes took the controversial decision to bench his injury-prone starter Rodney Peete and give the job to Andre Ware. Ware showed he could throw the long ball early on, but couldn't get the Lions into the end zone, and they settled for a couple of field goals. The Cardinals' Steve Berline, though, is looking better every week. This 51-yarder to Ricky Proehl was one of 2 touchdown passes as Phoenix took a 17-16 lead. Ware improved as the game went on, though, put the Lions ahead for good in the third.
Ware looks right, throws left, touchdown, Merriman.
Of course, it helps when you have Barry Sanders to help run out the clock. His 90 yards on the day took him past the 6,000 mark for his career as the Lions won by 6. 2 years ago, Bill Parcells walked out of Giants Stadium as a Super Bowl winning coach. This week he walked back in as coach of the winless Patriots, and his old crosstown rivals, the Jets, weren't about to do him any favours. This 1-yard Brad Baxter touchdown run was the first of 5 on the ground for New York on what turned out to be a long day for New England. Their rookie quarterback Drew Bledsoe felt the heat from Ronnie Lott and company all game and got sacked 3 times. Boomer Esiason, meanwhile, continues to look like the bargain of the season for the Jets. They hand Bill Parcells the biggest loss of his career, and he's still looking for win number 1 with the Patriots. There was another great name on the sideline at Soldier Field, Walter Payton, the Bears Hall of Fame running back, signalling in a play it looked like there to Jim Harbaugh as he threw a couple of first-half touchdown passes and ran in another against the Bucs. Then last play of the half, down 28-0, Tampa Bay tried the Hail Mary, and it worked. The Bucs are going to need divine intervention, though, to win a game this season. Myron Baker capped the humiliation as the Bears win their first of the season and win it big. Elsewhere around the league, the year of the field goal continues. Minnesota won a last gasper without scoring a touchdown, and Jim McMahon's bomb set up Fuad Revez for the 5th time in their game against Green Bay. Vinny Testaverde came off the bench to rally Cleveland last week. He couldn't do it this week against a strong Colts defense, though. The Browns' perfect record's gone. And with 4 minutes left, the Bengals had the lead at home against the Seahawks until Harold Green fumbled in the end zone. They're still without a win. Later tonight, the Steelers take on the Falcons here in Atlanta, with the pressure mounting on Jerry Glanville to come up with his first win. And in the second bye of the season, 4 AFC West and 4 NFC East teams had the week off. Among them, the Giants and Philadelphia, who still have perfect records. So that's 5 games this season, won by teams just kicking field goals. Bob, what's with all the field goals?
I don't know. They're saying now that almost half, I think 48% of all the scoring is coming from field goals now, where in the past it's been 20, 30%. I think a lot happens down in the scoring zone from the 20-yard line in. I think coaches are afraid to lose the ball, both fumble, interception, or do anything dramatic. So their basic belief at that point is, let's just get some points. And I think really coaches are coming to the point where they're just settling.
OK, now, Bob, as you know only too well, football's a violent game, so the subject of what constitutes excessive violence can be a grey area. And that brings us on to this week's Spot the Difference competition. Remember, at the top of the show, we played you these 2 hits. The first by Ronnie Lott of the New York Jets in Week 2. The second by Chuck Cecil of the Phoenix Cardinals, also in Week 2. What's the difference? Well, $30,000 if you're Chuck Cecil, because that's how much the NFL fined the Cardinals safety for dangerous use of his helmet on that hit and this one during the same game against the Redskins. Now here's where things get strange, because Cecil was fined despite the fact that neither of his hits were ruled illegal during the game. Ronnie Lott, on the other hand, was penalised 15 yards for unnecessary roughness by the officials in his game, but got nothing more than a warning letter off the league. Confused? Well, so was Chuck Cecil.
Playing the same way today that I did, you know, whatever, 12, 13, 14 years ago when I was in high school. Now all of a sudden it's illegal. I don't know.
And just to confuse things further, Cecil's victim, Ron Middleton of the Redskins, testified for the defence.
It was a pretty good lick, clean shot, no malice intent. It's just football, you know.
OK, now the explanation from the league is that the difference between the 2 hits was that Cecil used the crown of his helmet while Lott didn't. They say the size of the fine reflects the fact that he'd been fined for dangerous play before, and warned to clean up his act. Well, Cecil plans to appeal, and in the meantime, says he won't be changing his style.
Heck, if I get the chance to do it again this week, I mean, I'll do it and do it harder.
And if he does, the league says they'll suspend him. Now, Bob, it seems to me there are two issues here. One is whether players are using their helmets dangerously as weapons. The other is consistency in enforcing the rules, because to me, those two hits looked exactly the same.
Well, I think there is one main issue, and I think that the league is getting very, very conservative in their approach to the game. I don't want to say that they shouldn't look out for the safety of players, but those sort of evaluations of a guy's hit are very subjective, based on where a referee is on the field, the angle of the video camera when they're showing replaying the play. So I think that being taught from the beginning, grade school, high school, that you tackle with your face and your head in the middle of the guy's chest, that ensures a sound tackle. I think that they're really pushing the line a little bit with this.
So were they both clean hits or were they both dirty ones?
I think they're both clean. I think Ronnie's probably a little bit more clean. I think Cecil, because of the nature of the play, was perhaps staggering a little bit when he made the hit. But, you know, that's the nature of the game. I don't think there was intent on either one.
Well, an important issue, and one I'm sure we'll hear more of as the season goes on. Looking ahead to Week 5, some good games coming up, most notably the Kansas City Chiefs entertaining the LA Raiders. A reunion there for Marcus Allen with the team where he spent a couple of unhappy years before moving to KC. Join us next week at the same time. From Bob and me, good night.
American football. 987. Sponsored by Budweiser.